likes it.
Stop being a bitch.
All right, Lemon Heads, what up? Welcome to the Evening Juice with Lemon City Live. I know it's been a while. Season 9, episode 11. I'm your boy Fungus. I'm joined by Xavi over here, XG La Voz. What's up, Xavi? How's it going, man?
Great, fantastic.
I bet, man. So before we get started, man, I just want to remind everybody, if you're watching on our Facebook page, on our Twitter page, or on the 5 Reasons Sports YouTube network. Shout out to 5 Reasons for hosting us on their YouTube page. So I think we should just get right into it, man. Last time we had an episode, the title, or not the title, but the description of the episode was Inter Miami continues to lose. But now what?
That was for a while.
Yeah, it's been like 2-3 weeks since we did our last episode, but man, one episode later and how things have changed, right? The GOAT era, the Messi era has officially begun. 2 wins later, Messi scores 3 goals in less than an hour of play, or less than a 90 minutes of play, whatever it was.
Less than a half, yeah.
Oh my God, and ridiculous, bro, ridiculous. What a way to start.
The butterfly effect. No, it's the Messi effect.
Oh, yeah, for real, man.
That's what it is. A lot of people.
The Pulga effect, bro.
a lot of people kept saying, one person, won't make that great of a difference. And to be honest, it's not just one person, because Boosie, like right down here, they have a little chant, like in the green lawn in the park, and they were like, "Hey, we want some Boosie."
I love it.
the first time I heard it, I flashed back to my junior high when the actual song. I was like, "Whoa, yes. What?" And like, "Oh, that's pretty smart." Whoever came up with that song, and they're like, "Hey, we want some Boosie."
Oh my
God! And the man is like the genius behind the genius, right?
Yeah.
He's the genius behind the genius.
Exactly.
It's amazing how just he maneuvered and took over that whole midfield. And it's so elegant and beautiful. A 6'2" guy.
Yeah, man.
With that finesse and that, because that's hard for anybody to have that quality. But for a guy that big, it's fantastic to see it, and to see them there. And people are saying, "Oh, they're older, they're past their prime." They're past their prime age, but the play on the field is still perfection. Just from what we see, it's just they still got it, man. Physically, it might be a little bit less, but they still got it, man. Messi,
because their mind is just, it works so much faster than the average player. You know what I mean? And they've competed at the fastest paces. So, MLS they probably feel like the game has slowed down for them at playing at the MLS level.
Yeah, they've won anything and everything there is to be won in sports. They've won all the trophies. They have all the accolades, and they came and they're hungry.
Yeah.
Because they're moving. Messi was moving. He was marking. He wasn't just standing. Yeah. If he's motivated early on, or I don't know, and I don't care, but the guy's doing it. And then Boosie, and they're saying, he's not that great on defense. He might not be the greatest defender, but like we said, he reads the play and he's there. And then when he has the ball, it's quality. We're gonna have to go back and we're gonna get a clip, prior episodes when we were talking about this. And I said, look, when you have 2 guys like that on the field, the boost, the confidence, everything goes up. Everybody else around you plays better. And yesterday was the proof of that, because they even the guys say that in interviews afterwards. Dixon Arroyo was being interviewed, Joseph, they were being interviewed, but particularly Dixon. He said, like, they make it their quality. They make it so easy.
Yeah,
they make it so easy to play. I get it. They do the work. I get it. I give it, and it's everything's so simple. And you saw guys, Kramashi, that game he actually looked elegant, because that was one of the things that I've said, that I always believe he's not a bad player. I think he's a really good player, but I think he's more of a defensive minded. But yesterday he actually had a nice assist, and he had movements and he looked more fluid. So I guess he is picking up from Boosie. He's picking up
Yeah,
in practice or what. But this is a different team. This is a
it's
different
night
team,
and day.
a completely different. Atlanta is not. They're not having a great season, but that's not a horrible team. It's
Yeah.
and a 4-0 thrashing that could have been more. Although Atlanta did have opportunities,
Hmm.
and they could have scored. So the defense has to toughen up. The defense for Miami, even though they got the clean sheet,
Yeah.
has to toughen up.
Thank God that we have Drake Calendar
That
protecting the goal.
the season MVP. Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
guardian angel. He's a guardian
Hmm.
angel. He is, to me, the MVP of the season. This wretched season that looks like it's turned. It's like a Disney movie, right? It started wretched and it's being charmed. We have we have we have Prince Charming come in,
Yeah.
and he's changing everything, and it's amazing. It's the greatest thing to see.
Yeah.
It's the greatest thing to see.
And you know what's incredible is that they're still waiting on Jordi Alba, right?
They're
He's
waiting on Jordi Alba. They're waiting
Mhm.
on Diego Gomez. He's a U22
Mhm.
initiative Paraguayan central midfielder, also very good.
Yeah.
A lot of potential. They're waiting for Facundo Farias, who is supposed to be a top prospect that they're bringing in, that
Mm.
they had somehow stolen because he was supposed to be going to Europe.
Where'd they
And
get him from?
Colon, and
Okay.
he's
Well, I
nice.
don't know.
That'll be nice. You lost me?
I did.
Okay, I'm back. I hope I'm back.
Okay. What were you saying? He's supposed to be what?
He's attacking midfield. He's supposed to be
Okay.
a up and coming prospect, a hot
Mm.
prospect over there, young guy too. And then they're looking into getting the central midfielder Tomas Aviles from
Yeah.
Racing, but they're having issues with that one. They're asking, holding out for a lot of money, but they're still negotiating, and anything's possible there. Plus Gregory looks like he could make it back this season.
Nice.
He's looking a lot better. They mentioned Mota,
Yeah.
but I'm not so sure. When I see him, just my eye test, he doesn't look. His left leg looks
Hmm.
considerably skinnier, and I see a little bit of a limp.
Yeah.
But supposedly he spoke to somebody, and like 2 months. They're 2 months out, 2 more months before they come back. I don't know,
We'll
but if
see.
Gregory comes back, that's a big boost.
Yeah.
They're getting everybody at the right moment. They're getting everything happening at the right moment. And I got an opportunity to ask that question yesterday, and I told him, hey, it's 2 games, and you've won 2 games, looking nice. Is this give us the fans a hope that things can happen, good things can happen, like the U.S. Open Cup?
Yeah.
They're the semifinals. They could theoretically win that, right?
Hmm.
They can win that, and then the League's Cup, they're in it until they're not. They can still win this.
Yeah.
And then I asked them, can the fans hope? And the most important one, I said the most important one, I added that in there, is MLS. You're far away from the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
If you guys play like this, can the fans expect that maybe you somehow make it in, and then there's a hope. And he goes, look, the first two, we're in,
Yeah.
good. The last one is the hardest one to reach, but we're going for all of them.
Of
We're going
course.
until we have no more chance or no more
Hmm.
hope. We're all in, and that's what I want to. That's what I want
Yeah.
to do.
I mean, it's scary to think about for if you're one of the other teams that Miami could possibly sneak into the playoffs. Maybe if they win out, or they need maybe they need some help. I'm not sure,
It's possible. No, they'll
but
definitely
I
help.
know, yeah, it's possible. I think they're only down 12 points, and there's a good amount of games left.
30 something in 36 points
Hmm.
in play.
Yeah, so
There's a
they could
chance.
exactly. So if they get in, all bets are off.
Completely.
All bets are off, man. Especially the way they look. Oh my, they look dangerous, bro.
And if everybody comes back, and if they have the depth, and everybody comes
Hmm.
back at that point,
And once
it,
you add
it,
Jordi Alba and these other and the other new guys, the young guys,
scary
oof,
team. It's a scary team, and
yeah.
what's even scarier is that next season is when the wallet opens up.
Oh
Because remember,
man,
everything they're restrained. The
Yeah.
thing is that the genius that is, and we're using that word genius a lot now in Miami. But
Yeah.
we weren't using that word too often before. But the genius that is Chris Henderson, okay, these are all the restrictions.
Yeah.
He went like this.
Yep.
Come here. This is a rule. Okay, I
Hmm.
can do this. I can do that.
And
Buy, sell, everything. He did it.
do
He
they
did it
still
all.
have an international player spot available?
They got one from San Jose Earthquakes
Uh-huh.
for GAM money,
Yeah.
and then one. This is there's something else. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
Negri is out for the season. He's an international spot. I
Okay.
believe that his spot they can replace it if they bring a player. Just he can't be making more.
Yeah.
I don't have the specifics. I didn't read the specifics, but I know there's something to that. So there's something there.
Mm,
That's a spot that they can get also. So and there's
man.
still there's still a chance to trade someone away.
Yeah.
Uh, so don't be surprised. I mean, the name that comes up, and people think it's a far fetched idea, but
Hmm.
Rudy Campana is a DP spot, and he's not an international spot because
Hmm.
he was born here.
Yeah.
But he can make it work. If anybody can cook, it's
Yeah.
Henderson. Baby Godfather has been making the moves, and they paid their
Hmm.
dues. They planned for things to be bad before they got better, but it looks like they're getting better, now
Really fast. Yeah.
at the moment. But it has to
Yeah.
get better when you have
Hmm.
Messi and
Of
Boosie.
course.
Man, what a difference! Imagine
Incredible.
those guys. I was thinking, imagine those guys in the prime, those people in Barcelona, enjoying those guys in their
Hmm.
prime, and that must have been, if you're a football aficionado, you're in a
Yeah.
beautiful city. You live in an amazing place,
Hmm.
and every weekend you get to see that, and you enjoyed, Ballon d'Ors, you enjoyed
Yeah.
winning Champions League. Those people through that span, I think it's the best in the history of football, right? They enjoyed
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's got to
the
be.
best time. It's awesome. But let's continue. Let's continue.
Yeah, man. And like we said, there's that one international spot available, maybe two because of Negri. So some of the names that were thrown out were Luis Suarez, right? That from Gremio, but
That got
it
shut
doesn't look
down.
like
That
that got
got
shut
shut down.
down.
Mhm.
But Iniesta's still out there.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. I haven't heard anything.
Hmm.
And some people have come out saying that their socials tell them that's not happening. I just
Hmm.
don't see it. I don't see it. Um, I don't. Luis Suarez, that he definitely wanted to come. He was
Yeah.
doing everything in his power, and the team, has to stay mum on that because they can't interfere with a guy that
Yeah.
already has a contract. But he was trying to do everything in his power. He said, "Hey, I'll give you all the money back plus
Hmm.
more money out of pocket. Let me out of my
Damn.
contract." And they're saying, "No, yeah, that's how much he wants to be with his boys, right?"
Crazy, man.
They must be calling him saying, "Dude, we're loving it in Miami. Get your ass
Yeah.
over here. Get your ass over here."
For real. They're inviting him to the next asado.
Yep. Pero
Oh
bueno,
man. Well,
he'll be in December. He'll be here in time for Christmas,
yeah. He got to finish out the year, and then he can join
and
us
he's
or
free.
join Miami next season.
Mhm.
All right, no worries for them.
Happy days are ahead,
It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane. I
and I
mean,
hope it
how
stays
can
like that.
anybody stop that? How can anybody stop?
People wanting to come here, and you can't.
Hmm.
You can't. And hopefully, this is the beginning of that trend
Yeah,
that these high caliber players say, you know what, I love the Miami vibe. I like the feel. You know, I want to go there. That's
yeah.
where I want to go. And come on in, come on
Hmm.
in, and let's start this thing. Let's get this thing rolling. They just start. This is only the beginning. We can't get too ahead of ourselves, but it's just that when you see this product for 2 games, and you remember just what we had just this season. Let's not even go back.
Yeah.
Just this season, your eyes are. I mean, your what have I been seeing?
Hmm.
And this is the 36-year-old goat. Imagine him 16, 26, 26 in his
Hmm.
peak performance, and you still see him, and you realize this man is special. He was touched by God. He was touched
Yeah.
because I know you go and you work hard and you do, and that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go and focus and work and kick the ball 20 million times, which I'm sure he did. But he's just a special gift. You see the ball at his feet, the movements without the ball. All of a sudden he gets it and he makes a millimetric pass down on the grass. The next minute he'll put one up 40 yards. Perfect.
Yeah.
You know, and only he saw that. And us, because we're up there from the top, we would get to see that panoramic view.
You know, and it's because when you're watching a game from up there, you see what the players don't see. So you're like yelling at them, this guy's open on the right or whatever. You know what I mean? But the great players can see that from the field.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
Sense it. It's a spidey sense. They sense
it is.
They, you know, how many there was a play where Messi, they gave him a ball up top and the ball's coming, he has his back to the goal, and he has Martinez running in off to his right. The ball's coming and he just comes and he just does a little flick with his foot with his right foot that way. And it's incredible. It's just a little play, but it breaks the defense because they're not expecting that. And you know, funny thing is, both his goals were with his right leg. He scored both his goals with his right leg, because the first one he broke away, hit the pole, it came back, boop, tapped it. And then the other one, he takes it up, gives it out to Taylor, who I'm going to talk about in a second.
Yes.
Taylor puts it in. Martinez had a really good game, even though on the stats it doesn't show, but it's a different Martinez on the field. He does his little fake, the ball goes through, the defender bites with him, Messi goes in and just taps it like he's done thousands of times.
Yeah.
Taps it into the corner like nothing. And they're up 2-0, and you're feeling that it's going to be a runaway. And it was. And it was. Perfect.
That's incredible, man. So talk to me about Taylor, man. He had a brace yesterday.
We've been talking. He's having a great his best season with the team. And he's had good seasons with this team.
Didn't he also score in the previous match?
The previous,
who scored that goal? Was it Kramashi or was it him?
No, you just made me forget. Okay, they won.
Messi scored the game winner.
Right.
At the end, but who scored the first?
Jeez, I just blanked out, dude. That's what happens when you watch the goal.
Yeah.
I just focused on Messi. We'll see if somebody.
I'll tell you right now. It was
check it out. Let me.
Cruz Azul, right?
It was against Cruz Azul.
It was Robert Taylor. Robert Taylor in the 44th minute.
Oh, he went across. How I forget? That was a beautiful play, an inspirational play. Well, when we're talking, he just got in. I think Messi had the assist, if I'm not mistaken. No, that was Robbie Vomit Robinson. That
was before Messi even checked into the game.
Yeah, but that's right. They went at the 44th minute of the first half. They went into the lead. Robbie made a spectacular switch over the top, perfect, beautiful. Yeah. And he just brought it down, and he did what he likes to do when he's on the left side, cut in. But this time it just went in perfectly. Yeah, no, Robert Taylor has always been one of my guys, because he's very, you can use him in so many positions, but he's always good at each one, because it's hard. You know, if you're a defender, it's hard for the coach to tell you, hey, no, go play center forward. There's skill sets there that are different. No, this guy has played right back. He has played right wing, left wing. He has played 9. He has played 10. He has played crazy. 8 on this team. This season, you know, he's been all over the place. But he's one of the guys that people underestimate. And I had a conversation with a colleague, and we're talking about for next season. It's like, hey, you know, the team's not going to look the same next season. Yeah, there's like 6 to 8 guys that might not be on the team. Hard to believe, but there's a lot of guys that can be gone. And he mentioned his name, and I told him, no. You don't touch him. And this was before these 2 games.
Yeah.
last night I asked him, I go, hey, you still want Taylor? He goes, no. No, I take that back.
Then, he's got the same amount of goals as Messi in the last 2 games.
Yeah. He's the Finnish goat. He's the Finnish goat.
Yeah.
I saw on Twitter, somebody wrote, like, as expected, Robert Taylor's the player that benefited the most from Messi's arrival, because everybody said, who's going to benefit more, Joseph or Campana? That's the understanding, right? You think, he's going to fit. man, Taylor's playing at a different level. Playing at a different level because
Yeah.
he's with the GOAT. Inspirational. It's
Yeah.
inspirational.
But you know what? For Joseph, I think his time will come because during all these plays, all these scoring plays, I see Joseph positioning himself well. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
The Messi's first goal could have easily been a pass to Joseph, and Joseph would have had a wide open shot. You know what I
And
mean?
he has a
So,
different pep in his
oh,
his
for sure.
stride. He's moving
And
more,
he's playing with somebody that can create for him, and he doesn't have to worry about that aspect of it.
and he's being unselfish too. There's a couple,
Yes.
just in this game, he gave two balls that could have been to assist.
Yeah.
One to Messi that got stopped. The other goalie came out, and
Hmm.
then on the other side for Robert Taylor for his third goal. They did one of those
Yeah.
got it to Martinez, and Martinez faked and tapped it into the middle, and Taylor came in kind of like off balance but hit it with his left, and the goalie dove. It wasn't his
Yeah.
best shot, but the goalie made a good save and grabbed it because it was going to go into the corner.
Hmm.
But I like Joseph. I see him smiling more. I see
Yeah.
he didn't have like a horrible attitude or anything like that. He didn't go to like
No.
old school Gonzalo, not new school Gonzalo towards the end, because
Yeah.
Gonzalo towards the end was
Yeah.
was amazing. He was awesome, but
Hmm.
not before that. So this guy Joseph is smiling. You see him on the bench holding with Messi, and on the
Yeah.
field he's making moves. He's being unselfish. His star is rising. His star is rising.
Hmm.
He's a proven player in this league.
Yeah.
And once it goes in, he's gonna pop off. Pop 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 pop. He's
Hmm.
gonna start popping. So it's like from every angle that you see it, it's so positive right now, right? The only
Yeah.
thing that you do have concerns is the defense, because now
Yeah.
McVay got thrown out of the game, because they were going to give up a goal. He turned back
Yeah.
and grabbed the player going in. It's a red card. They're
Yeah.
arguing about it, but it's definitely a red card. McVay is one of the guys that has surprised me with his low level of play, because everything's not positive, right?
Hmm.
He was, to me, one of the better players last season, if not the best player on defense for sure. This season, since he hasn't been consistent minutes and he's been left out a lot, I don't know if it's affected him emotionally, psychologically, or whatever. But he's not the same guy. He's
Mm.
not the same guy on the field, because he's a very talented player. He's a very talented player, and he's not playing anywhere near to his level.
So who's gonna ride the bench once Jordi Alba joins the squad?
And more than likely, it's going to be Noah.
Yeah.
More than likely, it's going to be, and Noah played an outstanding
Hmm.
match this last game against Atlanta. He defensively, he was solid, aggressive. Didn't give the guy space. He was like on him. The guy would move this way, that way, whatever. He was on him. He did a really solid job, and he actually got up, made some nice passes, touched the ball around. He looked good. He looked good. But if Jordy's coming, as he works his way back in, more than likely it's going to be Noah who's going to see less time.
Okay. Does he? Is it because they play the same position? Can you not move Noah around somewhere?
I think either
Yeah.
one
Hmm.
has the ability to play back or further up. But I think Miami has other options
Yeah.
higher on the pitch, and Noah's a better option there. And also, he might have his playing time lessened, but he's going to play, because he's playing
Hmm.
very well. And I think Alba is not going to be 100% like for the whole the whole game.
Yeah.
So he's gonna get his playing time. He's doing really well. He's doing really well. And we got to talk about a shout out to Ian Frey, who got injured once again. I
Mm.
saw him when he used to play in Western FC.
Yeah.
He got injured again. It's a shame. The moment he went down, I knew it was serious.
Mm.
Why? Oh, why? How do you know? Well, he has a history, and it was non-contact. The worst injuries I've
Damn.
seen in
Yeah.
person and on TV or whatever is your foot gets stuck, you rip your knee. I've seen
Hmm.
even in recreation when we played, a friend did a slide tackle, nobody near him, broke his leg in three pieces. Like
Oh.
nobody touched him. Like it's
Yeah.
so and the shout and everything happens. But so he's young. He's young. He vowed to come back, and I believe him. And I hope so. But just three injuries, serious knee injuries in 3 seasons is, oh man, that's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
it's gonna be tough. So don't count him out. But I do believe it's gonna be a tough comeback, man. Really
definitely, man. Well, shout out to Ian Frey. They did hold up his jersey and that
was nice from La
picture.
Familia. That was nice from La Familia. I saw that. He was out. He was there. He took some pictures before the game. And now that you mentioned La Familia, I always go and hang out around the Green Law before, even before last season. I would always start, filming and going around. I see more people doing that. They're following that lead. I see more people coming.
There you go.
I see people coming out that I never see before, walking out of the parking lots, getting footage and stuff. So that's okay. But I'm out there, and one of the things that I talk to the guys in the game that caught my attention and I appreciate is it is like a familia, where when they're set up and everybody's around, and these guys have the food and these guys have brewskis or whatever. Everybody's sharing, dude. It's like someone comes to I hang out a lot with the Black Herons United. Those are my guys. I'm always there. And you see they always have the Jamaican patties, and you see people come, hey, what's this, what's that? Can I have one? Yeah, look, beef, chicken, whatever. There, and then you have other guys coming around, with sliced meat and stuff. And if you want a brewski, now this isn't open to. You got to be part of the group, Don't just come in here, and if you're coming, come and bring something. But it's a special thing. It's a special thing that I appreciate in tailgate. I always go and hang out there. They always treat me great, and I love it. I love to be there before the game. I got a little episode going now with Javon, which I always ask him before the game. He's a character, so I always ask him, one of the Black Herons. I always ask him, what he thinks about the game, and he's been almost 2 for 2. Like in the last game, he said, hey, all I want is for them to keep it tight. And if Messi comes in, anything can happen. And he hit it. And then in this game, I asked, hey, what's going on today? And he tells me, look, I don't know about a score, but I feel a hat trick from Messi. I feel a hat trick. Maybe he can get a hat trick. He was this close to a hat trick. So, but he did two goals and an assist.
So
he
said, contribution hat trick.
Exactly. And he said, I feel confident. I'm a believer. I feel good. And I think they're making believers. People. One of the things that stuck with me when Phil was around, the Phil days, he said, you got to believe, you got to keep believing. He was big into that. So I played along with it. And I said, hey, don't stop believing. Like the song, don't stop believing. Journey. Yeah. So they're making them believe. They're making the fans believe now. They're starting to make them believe. It's only 2 games. Don't get super high, super low.
It's 2 games against good opponents.
Absolutely. They got lucky against Cruz. They got lucky against Cruz Azul, because Cruz Azul in the first 25 minutes could have what Miami did to Atlanta United yesterday, 2 goals right off the bat. Cruz Azul could have done that to Miami. If you're honest, you're watching that game, Cruz Azul had total control at the beginning. Never stop believing. That's right.
There you go.
But what happened, when you have the goal, it's like things work in your favor. Like your luck turns. Like it's one of those guys that goes, to the casino and is always losing, and then he has that day, that lucky day or whatever. Well, we don't have a lucky day. We're gonna probably have, hopefully, a lucky 2.5 years while this guy's here. If not more, things changed. The ball hit on the pole and bounced back right at Messi. It was a perfect bounce. It's like if he did it on purpose, ricocheted, boom, perfectly to tap it in. Before that ball hit, go somewhere else, and nothing. Drake Callender, last play, they call a penalty.
Yeah.
If everything was going to work out the way it should, he was going to block that kick. And lo and behold, and they get the play keeps going, kick it at him. Another outstanding little dive right there. It's like, man, everything's going in their favor, dude.
Yeah. Man, Drake Callender has been money, man.
Yeah, Super Drake. I call him Super Drake.
Yeah. Yep. I hope he gets more call-ups to the national team.
I believe he will. I believe he will. There's, you
Mhm.
gotta he's gotta work his way up
Mhm.
the ranks because some guys have a little bit of seniority over him. I
Yeah,
do. Matt Turner to
and
me is
Turner's killing it too.
fantastic.
Yeah,
He's earned the top bit, but
for sure.
you need to have as many good guys as
Hmm.
possible in every position because this is a sport where injuries are a major part of
Yeah,
of the sport.
that's how Turner got his spot.
Absolutely. And he never
So
gave it back. And he
no,
never gave it back. That's how Drake got his spot with Miami.
ah,
Remember,
yeah,
that's how he got his spot with Miami because
that's right.
once he got his chance, he never let it go.
Hmm.
And he's doing everything to keep that. And hopefully we keep him because his star is rising and
Yeah.
eyes are on him. And
Hmm.
he's a very young,
I mean,
talented player.
honestly, if he keeps playing the way he's playing, he's gonna get poached by some European club.
No, he has to. He has
Yeah.
to. He's too fantastic. He's
Hmm.
super great. And not just that, what a cool, great guy. And that's one of the things that you kind of have to give Phil credit. He built when they make fun of him because he used to talk about culture.
Hmm.
What culture? What? That was one of the things he did, man. He had a lot
Hmm.
to do with the roster, with bringing the guys in, and he's brought a lot of quality people. He's brought a lot of quality people to the team, and Drake is one of them. That guy is from my interactions and my experience, just seeing that quality.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's talk about the young players because when you're in the MLS, when you're whether you're a homegrown talent or you're brought in from somewhere else, when you're a young guy, you're basically trying to come up and take like a veteran's spot, right? Which in the MLS is very possible. But what have you seen from these young guys that know that, man, they're in a locker room with Leo Messi, and Sergio Busquets? What have you seen from these guys? How are they dealing with this?
Okay, first, before we get into that, these guys are the luckiest, the luckiest kids. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
One day you're playing, and the next day the goat is there with you in the locker room.
Yeah.
They're listening, they're paying attention. Even the veterans, even the older guys, even Arroyo, which I loved his
Mm-hmm.
interview yesterday. He was an interview after the game, and he says, even at my age, I listen. I like to ask questions, like because he's everybody. You have to understand that it's the top of the top of the top in your sport. You got two
Mm-hmm.
guys that many say are the best ever in their positions. Messi the
Mm-hmm.
best ever period, but Busquets, so many people consider him the best five.
The best five, yeah.
I among them,
Mm-hmm.
I among them. Um, in the history of the game, and you have them, and they're still very active, and they're willing, and they're approachable. Messi, that humility is, that's one of the reasons I'm a big Real Madrid fan.
Mm-hmm.
Always been a Real Madrid fan. Yeah, I love Ronaldo. But I always had the utmost love and respect for Messi because of his greatness off the pitch, but also his humility and everything outside. Family guy,
Yeah.
signs autographs, is real cool. He was hanging out at Publix, bro, and
Yeah.
and if that they say it's a publicity stunt, but whatever, was it or not, I don't know. But he looks to me the type of guy that he'll go to Sedanos
Mm-hmm.
and stand in the window and get una coladita and ask me, hey Javi, you want una coladita? Leo, yeah, for sure. It's
Yeah.
cool, and you have to learn just by observing. And he seems to be very approachable too with other kids.
Mm-hmm.
In the I saw one of the videos from the interviews from the game, and DeAndre and who else? Like it was DeAndre. Yeah, DeAndre was talking. It was Joseph and Boosie, but particularly
Okay.
one of the things that caught my attention was DeAndre because they talked about. They asked him, "Hey, what? How is it to play with these guys? Because they say there's so much space now. There's spacing, and how do you?" He says, "Man, it's amazing to have the communication. One, the spacing for DeAndre. He says the spacing for me is great because I have him right on my side, and I got 2, 3 guys on him, so I'm chilly." But
Yeah.
one of the things he mentioned that really caught my attention was the fact he said no, and in the game, Boosie tells me, hey, you're too high, which is one of the things I've always said. you're too high. Give
Mm-hmm.
him give Leo space. Drop a little bit, drop a little bit. So he spaced them. So
Yeah.
he's there telling them, no. You know what? And this is DeAndre, one of the most accomplished, right backs in American history. Blah blah. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, that's nothing compared to
Yeah.
to Boosie, and he turns and like he listened. He said,
Yeah, of
"What? Oh,
course.
okay, perfect." Boom, and he had one of the other guys is yelling. He's playing at a higher level now. He's
Yeah.
defending because he defended like old school yelling, and he's
Mm-hmm.
attacking now. This is the guy, and I guess because he's always been a great effort, and
Yeah.
he's trying, but he
Mm-hmm.
wasn't having. I was one of the critics, and I try to analyze and critique. Critique
Yeah.
meaning fair and with reason. Not just this guy sucks. I
Yeah.
don't say that about people. But he was having a subpar season.
Mm-hmm.
These last two games, now
And
the
you could
all
see it. You could see it in his demeanor and how it's changed in the past two games. You know what I mean?
all of them.
Yeah, his body language was down before when they were losing, which is
Can you
natural.
blame him? Can you
No,
blame
that's
him?
natural. That's natural. That
11-game winless streak. I said when I
exactly.
interviewed him, I go, no, he gave 11-game losing streak. He goes, no, we're not. I go, no, I'm sorry, my bad. It's a winless because they lost
No,
8 and then
yeah,
they tied
they
3.
tied one.
But
They tied
yeah,
like two, I think, right?
2 or 3.
Yeah.
I think it was the third. That was the third one in that day because it was 11 games.
Oh, it
Um,
was the two in a row at the end there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he's playing at a different level. It's
Mm-hmm.
nice to hear these accomplished players
Mm-hmm.
just and I'm not gonna say they're in all, but they're like what do you need? What okay, gotcha, I got you.
Yeah.
They're you need me to drop? Okay, what does Leo need? And it's amazing. It's great. And he
Mm-hmm.
said that Leo is talking and pointing and dictating and telling. So they're all gonna get better like that. And
Of
and one
course.
of one of the guys we have to give props to is Tata because he's got the team playing. Yesterday, the high pressure. Anytime, even when they were winning, anytime they lost the ball, bam, shoo, everybody swarmed. They
Yeah.
swarmed. It looked like old school. I'm not going to compare to Barcelona
But
ever,
that's what they do. That's
but it
part
was
of their
that is the
yes.
Barcelona way, right?
Yeah, that's part of their
Boom, boom,
identity.
boom, boom, knock them, boom, 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 boom. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
we lost it. Shoot.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic to see, even when they were winning,
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously when Messi came out, Boosie came out, there was a drop off, and it was
Mm-hmm.
noticeable. It was
Mm-hmm.
noticeable.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's part of their identity, and even when you're winning, you got to do that, especially at this stage in the growth of the team, because that just builds repetition, that builds that sort of that culture where that this is what we do. You know what I mean?
All
So
times, a
yeah.
hundred, a hundred at all times, and you have to
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that as fans. The fans were getting ripped a little bit because when Messi came out, like it seemed to be like half the stadium dipped.
Yeah.
Um, but people don't understand that traffic on I-95 on a on a Tuesday night, I-95
Still
is
though,
cheaper than
still
staying.
though. I mean,
No,
come
no,
on,
you have to,
you gotta
especially
stay.
if you paid the cheapest ticket, 180,
Mm-hmm.
on a Miami budget, because
Yeah.
everybody in the country makes much more money than the people down here, but everything here is more expensive than another place in the country. If people don't
Yeah,
understand that.
bro.
You have to stay. You have to stay.
I've never liked leaving a game early. I remember once when I was a
I paid
kid,
for that shit, man. I'm staying.
even if I didn't pay for it. I remember when I was a kid, I went to a Heat game with my dad and some. I don't remember what other of my siblings was at the game with us, but we were playing the Charlotte Hornets. We were losing, and then with like 2 minutes left, my dad is like, "All right, let's get out of here." And then I was like, "Oh no, I want to stay." He's like, "No, come on, the game is done. Like that's it, it's over." As soon as we walk out of the arena, I look back and I see the final score with the Heat having won the game. And I look at my dad and I was like, bro, if you were not my dad right now, I would say some choice words to you, bro.
Yeah, I don't like to go either. I don't
Man,
like
you
to go
can't. You
either.
got to stay to the end, bro. It not only is like, did you pay to be there, but it's respectful to the players.
Yeah, even in the press box, like if I'm watching, I usually watch to the the Ted Lasso way.
That's right.
Even in the press box, if I'm watching, I tend to stay till the whistle's blown. Then
Yeah.
I'll go down to the because there's so many things that you can miss too. You know, as a reporter, you have to be eyes everywhere. There's always a
Mm-hmm.
story, something happening. So there's things that you can miss, and
Yeah.
even like let's say the unveiling. You know, Messi went in, everything, the rain, blah blah blah. But after he came out with his kids again.
Uh
You
huh.
know, if you were there and you got that,
Yep.
that's awesome. That's a great thing.
Yeah, man.
So it's a different vibe of this city right now.
Oh, incredible, 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 man. All right, so I think they have one more game left in this stage. Do they?
They no, they qualified. It's three teams, so they
Oh,
play
it's
the
three.
two games.
Okay, yeah, it is three teams.
It,
All right.
it's Cruz Azul needs to play with
On
Atlanta,
on Friday.
and Atlanta can still make it in. You know,
Mm,
so they're fighting for their lives there because it's the
yeah,
top two teams I think that go through.
yeah, it's the top two
Um,
teams.
so
So they top the
I
group.
am
That's awesome.
that is the first team that's already qualified to the
Hmm.
next round. You know, apart from the two champion teams, which was LAFC, and I forgot who was the champion for the Mexican League. Just slipped my
Tigres? No, Tigres was like number two. Hmm. I don't remember. Pachuca. I don't know.
mind. No, that sucks, man. I had, you know what? I had it in my mind. I saw the thing, I read it, and then it dropped
It
because
was
I'm
what
drinking
from
water.
from the
Water
previous
makes me
season.
forget it. Hmm.
I'll look it up real fast. I'll look it up real fast. But so what is the next round looking like? When is that stage?
Well, supposedly it's August 2nd, but they have it's whoever comes first in the group, and there's a possibility, and I hope this is the one time I will be rooting for Orlando City.
Uh huh.
I hope they top the group because if they do, they gotta drive down here to Drive Pink Stadium
Oof.
and play the GOAT. And all those Orlando City people that I see on Twitter talking garbage, that they're cheating, that Miami's a cheater, that they can't win anything, that regardless they have a trophy. Well, hopefully this season we can get that same trophy plus two more. But
Yeah.
I want Orlando City. I want Orlando City. That will be beautiful. I would
There you
love to
go.
see that. I would love to
I'll,
see that. And they're a
I'll
good
be
team. They're better
or a
than
good team.
Atlanta. They're better than
I'll be
Atlanta.
I'll be at the Orlando game this Friday. I'll be covering that game. Yeah,
Who do
man.
you play? Who do
Orlando,
you
bro.
play?
They played Houston last time. Let
Yeah,
me
no,
see.
Orlando's a solid team. Orlando's a solid MLS team.
Yeah. Oh, they
Um,
played Santos Laguna.
sad, they're gonna play Rayito.
Ooh.
Rayito's on that team. Say what's up to Rayito.
Oh, we'll do. I'm gonna ask him how does it feel to not be playing with Messi.
No, no, don't tell him that, dude. You'll break his heart. You'll break his heart. Go Orlando.
Go Orlando.
Go home is more like it.
Careful how
Xiomara,
you
that's
talk to
it.
my wife.
That's your wife. My bad.
All good, all
No, I
good.
recognize. That's not you in the picture. That's the dad, huh?
That's her dad, yeah.
Wow. No, what do you mean go Orlando?
We live in
Oh,
Orlando, bro. She's in Orlando and
yeah, I understand. You're one of those guys over there. But it's been funny to
no.
read. It's been funny to read. There's a couple guys
But
that from
Orlando
Orlando.
fans gotta be super pissed because they're having a very decent season. They have
Uh-huh.
an amazing rookie named Duncan McGuire who's leading
I
their
heard
team
him.
in goals.
Yeah, scoring like
Guys,
crazy.
man, the guys, yeah, he's going nuts. So for basically the rug got pulled out from under them with this Messi signing
Yeah,
and
in the state,
Messi,
nobody
Busquets, and all
cares.
these guys.
Yeah,
Nobody cares about the season that they're having anymore. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's
No, but
it's
it's a
tough.
solid team. It's a solid team. It's a solid
Yeah,
team.
yeah. It'll be tough. So yeah, man,
But
that'll
I would
be.
love to see that. That would be amazing.
Oh
And I
yeah,
know that'll be. I know that it's a better team than Atlanta,
yeah.
and it's a tough. It's going to be a tough matchup for Miami because Miami's vulnerable on the defensive side right now.
Hmm.
But with Messi and they've had the ball more, so there's less an attack. But
Yeah,
they had these guys in Atlanta had several opportunities. They just couldn't put it in. And then when you have the goat, you don't need too many opportunities, man. He's going to put one in.
yeah. No, for sure, man. He's averaging 4 goals per 90 minutes, is what I read today. That's incredible. I mean, he hasn't even. I don't think he's played 90 minutes.
Yeah, because the first three were within a 44-minute span.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. So
I didn't think it was going to be like that either. I mean,
no,
I knew he would
every
dominate, but I didn't think it was going to
yeah.
be like that.
Well,
Should
what's
have
his
known
name?
better.
Wayne Rooney and David Beckham both came out and said that it's it's not gonna be that easy. There's gonna be a transition, whatever. Messi's like, all right, bro, hold my quilmes. You know what I
No,
mean?
no, he's transitioning. He's transitioning the same thing he's done all over the world, all the time, everywhere,
Yeah.
any playground, even on friendlies. He played a couple of friendlies before coming here. And he
Mm-hmm.
scored 3 goals in one of them, like in the first half.
Yeah.
He has no chill. He has no
Nope.
chill. It's like I'm scoring. I don't care.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, it's incredible. It doesn't matter where he goes. The guy is class. Class.
The best, the
Yeah,
best, the
man.
best.
Yep. So Orlando second is their next game. We don't know who their opponent is yet, but if Orlando City wins on Friday, it'll be Orlando.
Yeah, if Orlando tops the group, if they top the group, they will be playing Miami.
Awesome, and it'll be in Miami.
It's supposed to be here, if I'm not
Okay,
mistaken.
okay.
Yes.
I want to look ahead a little bit because I know you got to sit down in a group setting with Jorge Mas
And
and
David Beckham. Yeah, that
David
was
Beckham.
very, very
Hmm.
privileged to be there. Even also privileged to be credentialed for these 2 games. I know
Hmm.
there's a lot of people that didn't make it, and I'm
Hey,
I'm grateful.
listen. The work that you've been putting in, not only this season but last season as well, and even before you joined us, we had Alex Windley who was writing for us. So we've been covering Inter Miami since
It's
since
well earned.
the get
I
go.
feel privileged, but I know I earned it. I
Yes,
know
for
I earned
sure.
it because I put out a lot of stories that a lot of
You
people
do,
don't
man.
do, and I'm always on the Twitter stuff, and it's
Yeah.
and I appreciate. I really love to be there. I really
Hmm.
enjoy writing about the team, and
Yeah.
I try to do a good job. I try to put out what I
Yeah.
see without being having my feelings involved. I
Yeah,
try to
man.
analyze and I try to do a good job for the people, and I enjoy it. I
And we
enjoy it.
appreciate that, bro. And I saw there were some big names that didn't get credentialed. I mean, there's limited space. You can't
Yeah,
credential every
absolutely.
big name that wants to
And
get in
that's a
the
cool
building.
thing.
You know
That's
what
a
I
cool
mean?
thing. That's a cool thing by the team. Not just going by the big name, but also appreciating the local talent.
Of course.
Because there is
They.
local talent and there's good people.
Hmm.
In smaller settings, broadcasts, whatever, providing really good and consistent content for the team
Exactly.
since forever, since
Exactly.
forever.
Yeah, man. They could have easily turned away the little guys and gave all the ESPN guys their credentials, and we would have still kept applying afterwards. It's not like we're gonna be like,
Of course,
oh, you didn't give us this game, we're gonna stop covering you.
no,
No,
it doesn't stop. It doesn't
you know
stop.
what I mean. So it's really awesome on their part, on Inter Miami's part, to still stick with us, reward our loyalty with their loyalty.
Yeah,
So shout
no,
out to them,
that's
man.
awesome.
Shout out, really. As much as they have been criticized by us and everyone else for the wrongs that they have done, that was really great, and that was a very classy move from them. It shows that at the center of it all, that they are running a class organization, and we're about to see the fruit of that.
Yeah, and they appreciate the stuff that we put out for them.
Hmm.
They're aware and they appreciate it, and that's how they let it be known by giving
Yeah.
us those credentials.
So let's talk about that sit down that you had with Jorge Mas and David Beckham. What are some of the takeaways from that?
I'm gonna go the first one. The initial one is having two icons, right? Because
Hmm.
Jorge and his family, Tomas, even with his dad, Macanosa before, they're icons of Miami, right? The Cuban American
Yeah.
that came, for freedom and have made it big, this country, and they've given back. And he, like he says, he loves Miami, so he is like Miami born and bred.
Yeah.
And I got that he really is loving and living the moment that's happening.
Hmm.
And one thing, just personally, um, it, I love the humility from those two guys. To be honest, it might not be something important for anybody else, but Beckham and Mas came in and they went around and shook every person's hand, and they didn't just do it like hi hi, and
Yeah.
it was polite, it was nice. They sat down, and they opened up, and it was very, very nice. To me, David is the key, right? because Pelé in '75, I believe it was, came in and started this, right? He started this.
Yeah.
And 36 years later, David Beckham came. They made the DP rule, things changed. Hey, awesome. Cedar Hill, Texas. We appreciate it.
Shout out to Cedar
So
Hills.
he came through and he ushered in a new era in the MLS, right? It grew. In his time, the MLS grew. More people saw it. People put their eyes because it's Beckham,
Yeah.
and some good things happened. And 18 years later, so it was 36. Now it's 18 years later. Lionel Andres Messi Cucitini, the GOAT, he brought him here. So he's had a part
Yeah.
in two of the major movements, of the major seismic shifts of American football. So his name will be in history forever,
Yeah.
of this league, because he was so involved. And it was great to be there to listen to what they were saying. And it was funny because Mas like couldn't contain himself, and like he broke the story there. It's like, no, because Jordi Alba, he's signing today actually, and like everybody was like, what?
What?
Awesome. And then he talked about Diego Gomez. He was asked about Luis Suarez, and he said, look, wait. Suarez belongs to Gremio. He's a Gremio player. Whatever he does, he distanced himself because you can't be tampering, because then everybody's going to be talking.
Exactly.
He distanced himself. He said, look, if he happens to get out of a contract, we'll be interested. But he's a Gremio player. We haven't reached out to him. We don't, we're not talking about him. Blah, 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 blah. And it's great. And then David did talk about his time, when he got there. His first 2 seasons were not very good. He was injured. He didn't have great. And then after is when he, won a couple of championships. And he needed to meet, in his contract, he needed to meet certain goals for that to kick in, all his special clauses and all that stuff. And they were very difficult goals. Like one of them, the team needed, the league needed to have like an extra 6 teams by his 5 years. Like he met every single goal, but they weren't as easy as people think.
Yeah.
And his foresight, he said, look, people said I was taking a risk when I was coming to America. To me, it wasn't a risk. He had the vision for what's happening now. But he said, I love, like he said, he loved the country. He saw himself living here someday. So I thought that was awesome. I thought that was cool, for him to say that. So he's really enjoying it. He is where he loves to be. And he's that glue, he's part of this movement, and he's going to be the person that's going to get the guys coming. Because you get a call from Beckham, everybody knows Beckham.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Beckham. Those players, all these players coming up, even if they're, 14, 15, you still know who that icon is. And it's big for Miami. Those two guys, they seem to be, well, the whole group, obviously, right? But they're the face. They seem to be quality people too. And once again, it's the culture. There's good people. Good things are happening. Did they have sanctions? Did things happen? Yeah. Bad things happen to good people sometimes too.
Yeah. All right. So next up after this is a U.S. Open Cup match, right? At the end of October. I'm not sorry, August. At the end of August.
I thought it was August 2nd. I for some reason I have that in my.
No, it's like August 20 something.
It's a little bit later, so maybe it is.
Yeah, that's a Cincinnati game. August
I don't
20.
have the. Yeah, it's.
They have plenty of time to gel.
Absolutely, no.
Even though it seems like they already have.
and to get to it's amazing, right?
Yeah, but by that time, Jordi Alba will probably have already played a few matches. They'll be clicking on all cylinders,
like they
heading into that game against Cincinnati. And I believe Jorge Mas said that if they were to win that game, that they are considering playing the final at Hard Rock Stadium.
If they make it to the final, that he says that there's rumors that he doesn't have a good connection with the people, which is not true. He said, no, I have a great relationship. We will. He mentioned, our games are going to be here, right? Like for the season and stuff. But if they make it to the finals, definitely they're going to look into that, and that would be fantastic.
That'd be amazing.
That will be fantastic. Whatever team that is, that has to face Miami in Hard Rock Stadium, capacity crowd, because that's going to be capacity.
Of course.
Capacity crowd is already losing 1-0 when they step into that field. They're already losing 1-0. That's awesome. That's gonna be that's I really hope it happens, because that's gonna be great.
Yeah. So where does this put? Like, oh man, they have a strong possibility of winning these two tournaments, League Cup and U.S. Open Cup, and if they can sneak into the playoffs, if what would it mean if they're on the table, man? What would it mean?
If they win a treble, it would mean that Inter Miami has beaten the odds. It will be a galactic like undertaking for them to just beat every single odd, every single obstacle, because this team has faced all these obstacles. This season has been, like I said, it's a wretched season.
Yeah,
it's been a wretched season. And if Prince Charming comes in and turns everything around, it will be one of the greatest stories in sports, in history. It has to be, because it'll be bigger than the Bad News Bears. It'll be bigger than the Bad News Bears.
Oh Lord.
You know what it is for this team to be down, and Tata said, look, we're against the clock for the playoffs. That's the hardest one. He says that's the hardest one.
That's the
But
hardest
I don't think it's impossible.
No,
I don't think it's impossible. I think it can happen, and if it does happen, wow, watch out! This is going to be awesome.
Yeah,
It's gonna be an awesome ride. I'm sure the MLS, like the NBA, when they want like the Lakers or Boston or even when they want these top teams, fighting for because the ratings that people are going to be on top of. I'm sure they're rooting on, secretly, hey, let Miami get in there, because it will be off the roof. The sales for Messi jerseys will explode more.
and they've already sold like 3 million or something like that.
More than they are now. In the tweet, in my Twitter, did I say that right? In my Twitter, I Twitter the Twitter. I've got a lot of followers from Asia, dude, from
That's
India,
awesome.
from all over the place. And so the world is watching, and it will be fantastic.
Awesome, man. All right, bro. Before I let you go, any takeaways? Any parting thoughts?
Oh man, this is when you have special people, right? When you have special people come in to your organization, and I read it somewhere too. It say, what's the lesson in this? Is that you're only a person away. You're only, a person or two, the right people away from your organization being excellent, right? The right people being there, and they got the goal. What did they get with Messi? They got an amazing, fantastic player, but an amazing, fantastic human, right? Human being.
Yeah.
Boosie, same thing. Amazing, fantastic player, amazing, fantastic human. The locker room, and this has been always a strong locker room. It looks like it's even stronger. The kids, I didn't mention, Benjamin Kramashi played an outstanding game.
Yeah.
Noah Allen, I mentioned him also. He played a great game. These guys are upping their level.
Yeah.
And they're only,
you can see it, man.
Going to mark them. This is going to mark their careers.
Yeah.
Because once you see a certain thing, you can't go back. You can't unsee it. Once you thought that this is the way that you play, you can't undo it.
He's the Mandalorian. That's what. This is the way. I don't know if you've seen that show, but
I've never watched it. I've heard it.
Okay.
A lot of that stuff, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. So and there was a little meme with with Messi where after he scored the second goal,
he did the
whole force thing, and nobody
knew.
Nobody knows if it was to Beckham because he was like laughing, or if he was like to the kids, or but to whoever it was. You know what it means to me. MLS, I'm a death grip on you guys. I'm coming.
Yep. All right, Lemonheads, if you missed today's episode, it'll be available tomorrow wherever you get your podcast. We're also going to stream it on our YouTube page, on our Twitch page, and somewhere else that I can't remember right now. But on our LinkedIn page. So go ahead and check us out. All right, X, thanks for joining us. Lemonheads, we'll see you next week.